So here is everything, including my husband's Apple Watch. We decided to start off by putting the actual case on. You just need to look at the side and make sure you're putting it in the right way. It takes a little bit of finagling, but you'll get it in there eventually. So my husband did need to shorten this a little bit. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how we did that. So first we kind of took this really tiny pin here, and then we unscrewed this and then inserted the little tiny pin in there. And then once you put everything back together, you are going to go back to the band, and then you have to make sure that it's lined up with the arrows. Otherwise, it's not going to do it correctly. But then once it is lined up, and it's going to go in these little holes, by the way. Once it is lined up, that's when you can start pushing the pin out. So you can see that little skinny thing coming out on the other side. And then once you have it out to a certain amount, you can go ahead and pull it out. And then this is how you're going to actually shorten the watch band. I would measure before I do this, by the way, just so you know. And you also want to make sure that whatever piece you take off is going to actually connect back to the end piece. So we actually had to do this twice. We had to take off one more piece to make sure that it actually lined up with what we were looking for. So we are going to need to now put the additional piece back together. So, and I'm talking about the actual piece that connects the watch band. So we're going to use the other piece, the gold piece, and this is what you're going to use to actually add something back on there. You're going to take this tiny thing that kind of looks like a needle where you see like the hole. That's the side that's going to be pointing outward. So now we are going to connect this. Sometimes it was easier to do lying down. Sometimes it was easier to do holding it. You'll have to figure out the way it works best for you. But again, you want to make sure that everything is lined up and everything is flat. And then once you have it in there and you screw it in, then you can see that it's going to do similar to when you take it out. It's going to push the pin in there. And then once it's all the way in there, you're going to have the exact size that you want. Hopefully, if not, you'll have to do it again. It could be a little bit tedious, but honestly, it's not hard at all. Again, just make sure that it's flat when you're doing it in there. And then now we have the band at the exact size that we want it to be. So we're just going to add the actual watch face back to it, which is really easy. You're going to slide it in the same way you slid out your old one. Then my husband's going to put it on his wrist and then just clip it so that everything stays on. And this is what the band looks like. It looks super nice, super sleek, super, just look a little bit more of like a classy vibe versus just a regular rubber band. So overall, we really like the band, and it's nice that you can adjust it.